JC, Lyndsay, welcome to the show. Happy to
Thank
have
you.
you guys. Um, First and foremost, because I met you guys briefly at Fear Expo when I was giving it the passes. I don't know if I meet you, JC, or did I just meet Lyndsay?
You didn't. You didn't. You just met Lyndsay. I had some stuff come up back home that I had to deal with during that time. But we sent up the very best of us to be with you all on that particular weekend. So you got the best of us. I promise.
Well, I remember Lyndsay from the haunt tour because I believe at Haunted Hotel she got knocked around a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
It sounds
If
about
I'm
right.
not mistaken,
That
in a good
explains
way.
it all.
She seemed like I had a good time. So, would you guys think about the haunt tour?
Lyndsay, that's all you.
Honestly,
Tell them about it.
yeah, it was awesome. There were several haunts I was familiar with because that is the area that I live in. But it was really cool to see a couple of things that I haven't done before. Haven't toured Waverly before outside of doing their seasonal haunt house, so that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And also doing that behind the scenes tour at the Devil's Attic, that was awesome as well. Just seeing some of the little secrets they have there, their makeup room, their lounge for the cast and crew. Those are things I haven't seen in all the times I've been there. And just seeing how they do all their scares and special effects as well.
Now, tell us about what you guys do with the haunted honeymooners. It's it's kind of like a one
It's
stop
it's it's
shop. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the idea, I suppose, with it. So my wife Trish and I, Trish regretfully had to be at work tonight. She wasn't able to make it on with us this evening. But we're just haunted house enthusiasts. We really, really love this stuff. We've loved it for as long as we can remember. And we wanted to, in whatever way we could, contribute in some way, shape, or form to seeing this industry just be bigger and better than what it already is. And that was our goal with what we started to do. We went to a few haunts and we did a couple reviews on them, and people seemed to like it, and it really kind of grew from there. And that's what we did for several years. We really focused on reviews, and we also had a show called Talking Scared, which we still have. It's on hiatus at the moment, but where we would bring on people from the haunt industry. And the idea behind Talking Scared was getting to know the people behind the mask, because it's really cool to get scared by these people, but a lot of times you have in a haunted attraction, you're spending 15 seconds to maybe 45 seconds with these amazing actors and actresses that you get to interact with for that brief moment of time. How cool would it be to hear some of their stories about stuff that you're never actually going to hear about just traveling through a haunt, and to get to know them personally and to get to know a little bit about the person behind the mask. And that really has been the bread and butter for what we've done, has been that show. And we love doing it. We took a break from it this year just because we want to basically tear it down and start it from scratch, start it fresh next year with some fresh ideas with it. And it's also given us the time to do a little side project, do a few side projects this year, which we've been very excited to do, as well as kind of taking a look at the review side of things and figuring out ways in which we can just be better to the haunt industry, instead of feeling like sometimes I think that haunts feel that we're coming in there to judge them, or to nitpick, or to find the wrong stuff. And that's not at all the desire or the goal. And we want to find a way to make that even better and make haunts feel even more excited. When we come around, to know this is a good thing. We're not here to bash, we're not here to criticize, we're not here to put you down or anything like that. So we don't know what the actual review side of things is going to look like this year. I'm very excited because Trish and I are going to do kind of a little a rerun tour of sorts. We're going back to some haunts we haven't seen in a while, that were special to us, that really kind of got this started. Places such as, if it's okay to name a few, Dent Schoolhouse and USS Nightmare and Scare House and Scareview and Fallsburg Fearplex, all these haunts that really kind of got this thing rolling for us that we don't get to go see all the time. We're going to go back and do more of a promotion style visit and really just kind of hang out and help promote these places as much as we can this year, see how that goes. And we're kind of letting the review side of things go to what I believe is the best written reviewer in the game, and that is the incredible Lyndsay Bacon. So I'll turn it over to her and let her talk a little bit about what she does for us.
So basically, it's just like he said, I'm the writer for the team. And I handle all written haunt reviews during season. So reviews are written, scored. Those are just official reviews. Throughout the off season as well, when I go to like the holiday haunt shows or any other off season events, I'll usually review those too, just to give them some promotion, some coverage, let people know that these places are open and are having events the rest of the year as well. Also conventions, trade shows. Like last year, I did an article on MHC and their bus tour. Last week, I dropped a pretty lengthy review on the Ultimate Haunt Tour. Just last night, I dropped one for Fear Expo itself. I've got a few more reviews coming up this month. I'll be going to a couple of Easter haunts this weekend at the Haunted Hotel and Necropolis Underground. And then I've got the Nightmare Combat at Fear Columbus coming up towards the end of the month. So that's some new content that's going to be coming soon. But yeah, I'm just basically handling everything on the writing side of things.
That's really cool because you guys are like tugging at my heartstrings here because I've worked at Fallsburg plenty of times, and Brian and Chris out there, they're absolutely amazing in everything that they do.
Amazing people.
One of the things I always commented on with them, it's like they don't have a bought haunt, it's a built haunt, and like there's just a lot of care and effort.
Absolutely.
And it breathes. And then of course being from Cleveland, going to the Fear and stuff down in Columbus is something that you just gotta do. It's like a rite of passage. You hit Factory of Terror, you hit Fear, you hit Haunted Hoochie. You do all those things. That's awesome. There's a lot of people that wish they had your job. I can tell you that right now. So
very cool.
This is kind of an unfair question. I want to ask it anyway.
Okay.
And I want to hear from the both of you. We're going to do the Mount Rushmore. Since you guys review haunts, let's do a Mount Rushmore of haunted attractions that you guys reviewed.
Lyndsay, you want to go first?
I can definitely name a few that are in my top 10. I've never really sat down and done like an actual top 10 of the best, but I could name a few off the top of my head. So I can tell you right now, just based on show quality, duking it out for my number one spot, it's between the Dent Schoolhouse and Hell's Gate Haunted House, two incredible shows. The Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Florida, that is a bucket lister for anybody who's into haunted attractions. What else? Went to Evil Intentions last year as part of MHC and was really, really impressed by that haunt. So I recommend that one too. There's probably a few more that I can't name off the top of my head, but those are just the ones that immediately spring to mind.
That's a strong list, JC. Can you beat it?
I don't know. And I feel like no matter who I say, I'm going to get messages as soon as this is over. But if I had to put a top four, I think number one for one of the best overall shows that I have ever seen at any haunted attraction I've ever been to, Brighton Asylum out in New Jersey, is absolutely one of the top tier haunted attractions out there. Love that place to death. Great show, and I can't wait to hopefully make it back there one day and experience that place again, because it is absolutely phenomenal. Right beside Brighton Asylum, I think I'd have to put the Haunted Hoochie. I'm a big fan of touch haunts. I'm a big fan of physical haunts. I'm a big fan of haunts that like to push the envelope and aren't afraid to be a little risque with what they display and what they do. And Haunted Hoochie checks all of those boxes very, very dramatically. So they're definitely on my Mount Rushmore as well. I am going to copy one from Lyndsay, because I think of best show. What's one of the best quality shows out there, one of the best builds out there. It's Dent Schoolhouse, hands down, without a doubt, man. What Bud and his team have done there is incredible. I know a tremendous amount of the actors and actresses inside of that place as well, and they are all incredible people as well. It's ran by awesome people. They pay attention to the story each year, builds upon last year. If you go to Dent every year, you're not going to see the same show. You're going to see a little slight variation, but it feels like it's the next chapter in this awesome book that continues to be written out each year. And then last, I really got to kind of put a tie between the two, because I want to think, what would be one of, like you said, one of the best built haunts. So a haunt that doesn't have a gazillion-dollar budget and can just do whatever they want with it, and they have to put more of the heart and passion and love into it to really make it work. And two of them come to mind. And I love it because they kind of have a little bit of a rivalry at times here at home, I think, even if it's not really said too much. I know they always ask how the other one did and vice versa. But two of the absolute best built haunts around here, Fallsburg Fearplex and 12 Pole Manor, both stand in my book right side by side each other. They are both incredible haunts. 12 Pole absolutely crushed it this year. They took away Haunt of the Year for our end of things this year. Fallsburg is always right there in the top 5 whenever the final standings come out. They always perform very, very well and do extremely well. And both of those haunts are just right there. So I know I put one more president on the mountain, but I had to.
That's great. That's a strong list, and I'm really glad that you mentioned Fallsburg and 12 Pole for that matter. Both those places are really good friends of mine, and they do put on an incredible show. And Brighton is one of the top tier like haunted attractions that for some reason is so underrated. Like people just don't know about Brighton, and they need to. They really.
It's the only haunt I've been to where somebody they had this room. I don't want to give anything away, but I haven't seen this done anywhere else to the level that they did it, where this big guy would just explode out of this wall at you, and there would be debris from the wall that would come flying at you, and then he comes stumbling through. It was something straight out of a video game, man. Like you're playing Resident Evil and you're in the Baker house, and here comes Mr. Baker busting through the wall at you. It was incredible, man. So yeah, Brighton Asylum is absolutely phenomenal. Love that place.
Yes, it is fantastic. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can we find you?
You can find us on Facebook, Haunted Honeymooners. Just search it right in the search bar. I'll bring us right up. That is where the majority of our content is coming, as well as some of our cool side projects, including HHE Wrestling. Volume 2 of that comes out tomorrow. It's a cool little creation we got going on there that has nothing to do with haunted attractions. It's just something fun that we're doing on the side during the off season. YouTube, we're there as well. Same thing, Haunted Honeymooners. You can also find us on the old interweb, www.thehauntedhoneymooners.com, where all of the content is kept fresh to date. And that's it. That's basically all the places. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok. We don't pay as much attention to it as we should, but they do exist.
All right, guys, get out there, go follow them, get your haunt reviews. I promise you these two will not lead you astray. They will always point you in the right direction. JC, Lyndsay, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I hope to see you guys sooner than later. Fear Expo, HauntCon, hopefully, huh? Come on, you guys are gonna be there, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
You like the last guy said, we got more time to plan this year, so we'll make sure.
Well, we're gonna be there, and we hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your guys' evening.